then. There we are. Let's take a look. Alrighty. Let's see if somebody's at home. Alright, somebody in? Oh. Yeah. Hi there. Hi there. I'm at some kind of lost place here. Well, it's not. Actually, it's not some kind of lost place. It is really a lost place. So, yeah, I thought it might fit the topic I would like to talk about today. The things we lost. So, you probably already think, well, the guy's getting old. He's talking about the losses. Yeah, well, maybe it is like that. I don't know. I just realized. So that channel is on now for 10 years. 10 years. Yeah, I think it was 2015, March 28, when I launched the first video. So 10 years, I don't know, 10 years is a distance to go. So I thought, yeah, let's do some kind of resume or whatever. And since my mood just regarding tobaccos, word of tobacco, word of pipe tobacco, my mood isn't really up over the last few months and even the last, I don't know, 2 years or whatever, because all the things that happened, all the losses we took, and I just wanted to take the time, so just to have a little, I don't know, a look in the mirror or whatever. So what happened to us, what happened to the world of tobacco. But well, don't quit now. So there will also be tobacco, of course, and something positive as always. I brought some tobacco, Ilsteds Own, and there's a reason for that. So since we have spring right now, and we're all searching for the right spring tobacco, so I thought that might be fitting as well. So I think I'm gonna hop outside. This I don't know, this side is a bit depressing, and yeah, quality of the sound probably isn't too good here also. So let's hop outside. The spring outside. An old spray can. Oh no, not in the forest. I'm gonna collect that. Don't worry. Oop-a-la. Let's go this way. Well, did I mention that we have spring? It doesn't really feel like that right now. So now it's 5 degrees Celsius or something. Anyway, we already had some warm days and it's pretty dry here in northern Germany. I think we need the rain. Anyway, that's not what I want to talk about. Yeah, lost places. Channel had, I don't want to say a lot of lost places, but I think quite fair share of lost places that we had seen on the channel. Some of them still exist and are still lost places. Even if they were planning to build something there, build new homes or whatever, so I don't know, and other places, and perhaps even as many are just gone. There weren't lost places when I did the video there, but they're lost places now, or they built something else there. So if I take a look back on the channel and the videos, many places are gone right now. Yeah, those are the places gone, but then the other people are gone. So, Smoke and Briar, good friend, Smoke and Briar. I think nowadays it's even not too easy to find his channel anymore. I think it still exists, but well, he died years ago, so yeah, suddenly it was just gone. And I was worried about him, so I was sending messages and so on, and did some comments on the channel, "Are you alright, brother?" and so on. And then I think 1 or 2 years later, somebody wrote on his channel, he died on a stroke. So that's the only thing I ever heard. So those are the friends we miss, the friends we lost over the last 10 years. And there's John, Matches860, of course. There's a video on the channel about John also. Yeah. So when John was gone, everything was a bit different, I think, for many presenters, at least for the presenters who were already were already pipe presenters when John was around. So because he was some kind of, I don't know, godfather or something like that. So I think many pipe presenters were just looking up to him. So I can say that for myself, at least when I started the channel. And also the people were lost. But there's so many more. So we suffered really serious losses when it comes to tobacco. So on one hand, that's really, it's a natural thing. So and if you know the channel, you know, I always like to say, "Oh, guys, there's so much good stuff around, so I don't know. There's still so many good stuff around," and I could say that now, but things have changed, or I think they have changed, because it's not about single tobacco is gone. Even if the loss of your, I don't know, your favorite tobacco is always hard to take, but alright, but the many tobacco is gone, and the hard part is that we also lost a lot of companies, and losing a company means dead of dozens at least, or perhaps even hundreds of tobaccos with just one hit. So I don't know. We remember McLaren. I remember when the news came in that McLaren is gone, will be gone. So they were sold out the minute the minute they published it, I think. So it was all gone, and then on the next day it came all up on the internet, all for, I don't know, $300 or something like that. So yeah, some lucky guys still have some tins around. I think that was 2018. It was really, I think the first series hit during my time on the Y2PC that I remember. And then Kramer's Tobacco. Kramer's Tobacco in California. So of course, there's a video on the internet, not on my channel, but I think it's on YouTube also. An interview with the old Kramer's lady about the shop, and the father, founder. I think her father was the founder of the shop. But Kramer's was really something. And some of the Kramer's tobaccos, they survived. So I think Father Dempsey, and I think Crooners. It's also Kramer's tobacco, I think. So those were tobaccos smoked by famous actors, and they all bought the tobacco at Kramer's. So when Kramer's left, all these tobaccos were gone. We can always discuss the quality of those single tobaccos. Is it really something to cry about? So some do, some don't. All right. So, but I think a piece of culture was gone, man. Yeah. So, and those tobaccos that still exist, and they're now down by Cornell and Deal. So, if I'm correct. So then, in Germany, there was Planter Berlin, an old traditional company. They did a lot of stuff. Well, when I started pipe smoking, I used to smoke a lot of Planter tobacco. Later on, I wasn't really convinced by the quality. Same here. You can be convinced by the quality, or you can't, but there have always been certain tobaccos you want to cry for. So then Planter was gone, but Planter wasn't completely gone, was taken over by, some parts were taken over by McBarren, as we all know. So, yeah. HU tobacco. Well, you may say, well, HU tobacco isn't gone. It's just popping up now in the U.S. and so on. If you watch this video and you are in the U.S., you might think, well, it's just coming here. Yeah, well, it's not the old HU tobacco. So Hans Wiedemann, for any reasons, I'm not really into that. He sold the company or the name or whatever. So the tobaccos, the HU tobaccos, they were always produced. There was not an HU facility, but they were produced by Dun Tobacco and Cop and so on. Yeah, those were, if you think about Haymaker, so them many videos on the channel started with Indaba Makuva, and when I first started going into those things, it was incredible for me. So, well, actually, I have to thank Watchers for that, because Watchers told me, yeah, why don't you talk about HU tobacco? And I wasn't really into that, so I started to do some kind of research and order tobaccos and so on, because HU tobacco was never to be sold in a shop or whatever, except for 2 shops. And yeah, so you had to order that. You won't, I don't know, you won't find it on a shelf just being a lucky guy or something like that. So, and then I started with Makuva and Indaba and then all those great tobaccos, and I did videos about that and so on. So, the point is, now, when this tobacco was sold to Cobb, and the rights for the tobacco and so on, it was a natural thing that the Virginia-based tobaccos, they disappeared for a moment, because, well, those were done by Dun Tobacco, and they're not done by Cobb. So, alright, so we were waiting that those tobaccos are gonna come back, but they came back, but as some kind of undead creatures. Some undead creatures. Yeah, why do I say that? Well, you may think different, that I was talking to many pipe smokers, and I tried many of those tobaccos myself. So those tobaccos, they have nothing in common with the old AGU tobaccos except for the name. Except for the name. That's what I feel. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I feel, and what, I don't know, I think a dozen other pipe smokers I was talking to, and we were all trying and trying and trying. I didn't try every tobacco, but also, and that was some kind of surprise to me even, also those tobaccos, AGU tobaccos, always done by COP. Well, it seems that they have changed the recipe or whatever, so, but it's not the same anymore. Some of them, I don't know, may remind you of the old tobaccos, but for me, that's all. So I'm pretty much done with AGU. That doesn't really exist for me anymore. You can find out the difference real quickly. So the new tins, they don't have this shiny thing. So that they don't have a shiny sticker on it. They have a matte sticker on it. And if there's a matte sticker on it, you know it's already the new AGU, which isn't really AGU in my opinion. But anyway, so AGU gone. Well, pretty much gone. Brings us to a really sad news. So that would be McBarren. I couldn't believe it when the news hit me. McBarren is gonna leave in the market. So incredible. So yeah, they were bought by STG, if I'm correct, and we all know how that goes. For a while they're gonna tell us we keep on going, we're gonna continue, and then after a while they're changing production from one side to a different side. They're filling the tins with different tobacco probably. They, I don't know, killing half of all the tobaccos. Those tobaccos, they think they're not, I don't know, they don't make enough money. And it's already started. So Sutliff gone, thing, it's a huge impact. So, yeah. Especially I think my friend Corey, who did a video about Sutliff tobacco, he's probably pretty shocked. Anyway, so it goes on and on. Now they're telling, production will go on in Europe for I think another 2 years or whatever. But it means the end is already inside. So you better stock up now. You better, I don't know. You better fill your cellars if you still want to enjoy McBarren tobacco, at least for the original recipe. So, yeah, guys, a lot of losses we had to face over the last few years. Yeah, and I think the world of tobacco is really the world of pipe tobacco is really changing because. There were always losses. Over the last 10 years, there were always losses. But I think, and that's the bad news, for those guys like me in their 50s or even older, I think it might be that we have seen the best times of tobacco in our lifetime. So we have seen that, and probably it won't come back. Maybe it comes back, but it's really difficult now with all these regulations, European regulations, but also U.S. regulations. There's so many regulations right now, and probably the world of tobacco that we knew, let's say in the 90s and in the 2000 years, so 2000 to 2010 maybe or whatever, or 15 even. So. New companies coming up, new tobacco, small companies, family business companies, and so on, family-driven companies. So, yeah, extraordinary. So, Many of those, so there were different reasons. Many of those companies, they just left because the family doesn't exist anymore, or the family does still exist, but yeah, the heirs, they don't they don't want to go into the business. So anyway, so it's hard to imagine that this times ever come back with those many tobaccos, many different companies, many different styles, and so on. Well, that's just me, an old man rumbling. Think positive. Don't even listen to me. So anyway, I gotta hop off here. There are other places I want to show you. By the way, where am I? So yeah, guy's talking all the time, and I'll tell him where he is. So, I put a link down on the bucket as always. So I'm near Ferren. There's also a video that I did in Ferren, so it's not far from that. I think I was Ferren where I did Barbary Coast. Yeah. That's an old ammunition site here. Was built during the 30s or even before that, and was always meant to be hidden. So it is lost now, but it was always meant to be in the forest and hidden, and also with green roofs and so on, because they were already preparing for the war, and they expected to be bombed, and that's what happened, and so on. That's the reason why the railroad is pretty near. So we're going in and out with the railroad, and I built a lot of buildings here in the forest. Some of them are just hidden, so with a green roof right in the forest to be hidden by the trees and so on. And others, they just, I don't know, appeared like farming houses, or houses already destroyed or whatever. So that was some kind of camouflage then, back in the day. All right, let's hop off here. Let's find some higher ground. We can talk about Ilsteds Own and bring up my mood finally with something that really fits the spring. Let's do this. All right. It's a bit The Walking Dead here, atmosphere. Let's get over there. Let's go find out if somebody is at home. I don't really hope so. Alright, I think there's an entrance. I've seen a door here. Alright, let's find out. Anybody there? Come in. Okay. Nobody there. At least here. Oh, look at that. Somebody just didn't like the music. What kind of music is it? Strange enough. All right. Seems they made a little fire. Let's go upstairs. Lucky me, nobody wrong. So, I don't know, find a proper angle and finally do some real tobacco stuff. All right. It's finally time, so first time on the video, perhaps you see me smiling. So like I said, time to go for the Ilsteds Own Golden Flake. Let me just open that and tell you one or two things about this tobacco. So we have spring. Let's open that up and just cracking the seal and just getting the vacuum out. So we have spring, and there is a spring tobacco indeed. So I was thinking about doing something about this spring tobacco. Maybe I do in another video, but I'm not too sure, because that is a heavy aromatic that hits your face, and most of the guys I met, especially Ronnie, he thinks it smells like cat toilet. So others think that smells like a whorehouse, so, well, apologize for my language. So anyway, that's what they say. So I thought, no, I don't want to do every spring video with something like that. So and I did so many videos about these tobaccos, these Kohlhase. I don't say Kohlhase crap. So these Kohlhase things. So by the way, so let me say something positive about Kopp. I always want to say Kohlhase because I'm just used to that. I think I'm getting old, so I don't know, hard to adapt to always saying Kopp, because I always said Kohlhase so many years. So this is a Kopp tobacco. It comes by Kopp. If Kopp really produces it, so if they really do it in their cellars or whatever, in the old days, I always tried to find that out. So, but I gave up on that because, well, as one of my good friends from Czech, I think, once told me, well, Mark, that's a dirty business. So it is like that. Everything goes around from this place to that side, and so on, and everyone's filling everything in every tin. It's a crazy business. Has become a crazy business. I don't know if it's always been like that. My friend Doc could tell me. So so I open that up, and as usual, around 10, but you see a corner of tobacco. So a word with the tobacco has still corners, but the tins they don't. So it looks pretty good. I'll tell you about the smell very soon. So I think it looks wonderful. It has a really nice color to it. Some kind of golden. I don't know if camera really gets that. Yeah. So it smells like, so if it is some kind of straight Virginia. So let me tell you this first. Kind of straight Virginia. They take different Virginias, and they gonna do a pressing. They stock that, and they just make sure that they're already using different Virginias. So bright Virginias, golden Virginias, red Virginias, I think. So they're doing some some good pressing. And now there is something that that some of the presenters don't agree about. So is there some kind of casing to it or not? Or is there some kind of top aroma? I'm pretty sure there's no top flavor on it. I'm pretty sure, even if some guys say. So some guys say there's an orange honey flavor to it and so on. Strange thing is that on some websites you see aroma and then they say, yeah, it's orange honey. And then they have the original company sheet and they say no aroma added. And it's absolutely possible because they do a casing and they're using something to do the casing. So that's what we're not talking about when we talk about a heavy aromatic or an aromatic at all. So aromatic mostly means some kind of top flavor at the end. So for the casing, so for the second part of fermentation, you always need something. You can use honey or I don't know, wine or whatever you like, some liquor, and that's what many companies use. So yeah, some of them just use molasses. But anyway, it smells pretty natural. So it's a straight Virginia, but straight Virginia, as we all know, has different directions. So this direction is some barn. So there's a slightly hay note to it, and there is a slightly orange honey note. But if it's the natural Virginia, or if it is some kind of casing, I wouldn't put my finger on that, because I did some tobacco on my own, planted that and so on. I was really surprised how many different aromas a pure Virginia can provide, even if you don't add anything. So yeah, all right, enough words about that. So we wrapped it up. So as you see, I just have one hand free now, so I do it just like that. So normally I would use two hands and rub it out completely. So, all right, but I think it's going to be fine that way. So, all right. So let me probably, as you already guessed, probably this video is well, I'm pretty sure it's not the first video when I say something positive about cops. So, yeah. Anyway, but it doesn't come too often, I think. So all right. So you see, pretty massive tin here with all those round and cornered things here. Anyway, all right. Let me light that up. Yeah. You see, I'm still on this Lost Place side here. I have to confess that over the last few months, maybe even over the last year, I've gotten pretty much into Virginia tobacco, so straight Virginias. So I always consider myself as some kind of Kentucky man or burley man. Well, John was a burley man, and he always said so. And I always consider myself as a Kentucky man, even. But over the last few months, I got more and more into even those straight Virginias. There was a time when I thought, well, straight Virginia was so boring to me, but it really isn't. It really isn't. So if you take this tobacco and you have a line of tobaccos close to each other, straight Virginias close to each other, I would say you could compare that with Richmond Navy Cut. There is a video on the channel about Richmond Navy Cut, and Lawson 32, so both tobaccos are great tobaccos. I don't want to say in a very different way. They are slightly different to this tobacco. So this tobacco, for myself, I saw reviews that they think otherwise, but for myself, this tobacco is pretty much on the sweet side. And probably that's what I really like about this tobacco. It is really an early morning tobacco for me in the spring, or if you're spring setting or spring surrounding. It is very natural, I think. I don't think aroma or something like that gets through, even if there would be some kind of aroma, but added aroma. Yeah, you have these slightly a little bit of halo, but just very slightly in the back. I think it's very natural. The sweetness comes through. You have these honey notes, a little bit of citrus. But it's not too fruity. It's not too much on the citrus side, I think. Well, I like my Virginia sweet, you know. Seems kind of depressing here on the roof, so this lost place side. I'm gonna continue from down below. Let's go down. Much better. Much better, yeah, out in the nature again, so on open space, yeah. All right, so since we left this depressing place, although I see on the camera you can still see that in the background. Anyway, don't get confused by that. So, first light, it's pretty good. I think it's even pretty impressive. So pure Virginia, it's coming up. So with all the things you want to expect by Virginia, it is not as complex as the Larson's 32. It is not so spicy as the Richmond Navy Cut, and by far not so interesting and spicy like the golden sliced. Like the golden sliced. The golden slice for me is always the standard. So the thing where we can measure things. Really high standard. So it is not that. But it is comforting. It is easy to smoke. Even if it is a flake, you just rub it out. I won't give you a hard time at all. There's no tongue bite. It doesn't get too hot. So, and there's no, gargling and no other inappropriate behavior that you might face when it comes to Virginia tobaccos. We all know that. It likes to get hot, harsh, bitey if it's not really done properly. But this tobacco is really done properly, and it's really a good companion, all-day companion. So, something like an everyday tobacco, but I don't mean that with any disrespect. It's really good tobacco. I really like it. So whenever there's a tin around at home, yeah, it's gonna be empty soon, often too soon. And yeah, let me tell you about the price. The price is €11.40. So this is really a pretty fair price. If you think about the price for golden sliced or Larson 32 or even Richmond Navy Cut, which used to be an economy tobacco back in the day, but that's long gone. So it's pretty pricey today. So that's my recommendation for spring, guys. So it is natural, it is straight, it is available. It's not one of the losses we face so far, and it's done by cops, so probably it will last and give us company over the next few years, hopefully. So, and that's pretty much it for today, here from the old ammunition facility side near Durforden. So, after the war, this whole territory was used by, well, the military, even for storage of nuclear weapons. Yeah, was even a site for American troops and German forces combined. And well, they used these houses for combat training and all these things. So nowadays, some of these buildings are used for storage or whatever. Let's see what happens to this place. Maybe in another 10 years when I come back. And when we suffered more losses, or we gained a lot, and there were hopefully a lot of tobacco companies just jumped up and were surprising us with new tobaccos. And then let's see how that side here looks then. Alright guys, I've already stolen enough of your time. My apology for that. So, I hope all of you are well. I hope all of you that you had a great Eastern time, and perhaps you have a great springtime, and you find some nice tobacco around, and there's still good tobacco around. I can say that. Despite all those losses. So, take care guys. Be well. And perhaps see you again.